now.
Oh, we're there, are we, Chris?
We're up and running, mate.
Good to see you, mate. You okay?
Yeah. We're going to talk tonight about Slade in Scotland. Most of it's based on sort of my gig list, which, if you want to go and look at it, is at, because I can't remember stuff, sladelive.weebly.com. And it's got all the gigs that I've been able to find from different archives and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
But Scotland was a place, because I could never get up there. I've done most of the country. We travelled all over. But a guy called James Craig volunteered to look. He lived up in Scotland. He lives up in Scotland still, sorry. And he found loads of the early gigs.
Yeah, nice one. Well, I remember the first one you got here, Chris, was the La Bamba Falkirk. But you said we did something with the original band.
Yeah, 1965. Hoik.
Hoik Town Hall. I've been back there since. I've been back there since, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful place. I thought, what were we doing playing here? You know, it's I don't think there was many people in, but we weren't known then. I mean, I don't know how come we got the gig, but I'll tell you what, there was an agent up there who used to book us a lot, a guy named Ronnie Simpson.
Yeah.
And it's funny because we did a few gigs for him, but we hadn't met him at the time. But this guy was at these few gigs that we did. And then we went, you know, he came talking, and we said, we've seen it the last couple of gigs, and that Ronnie Simpson, he never sort of introduced himself for the first few gigs.
Well, I'll send you the advert for that Hoik Town Hall one, and you were billed as coming from Liverpool.
Sorry, what was that?
You were billed as coming from Liverpool, weren't you?
I know, yeah. Oh, we had a few of those in the early days.
Yeah.
You know, so we also got billed from Scotland a few times.
Well,
maybe there was playing there so much.
When James Craig was sending stuff down to me, we found out there was a Scottish group called the In-Betweens.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which was great when we were first doing it. Then all of a sudden I started looking at things, and you were doing double headers. You'd be up in Aberdeen, but an hour before you were in Bilston Town Hall. So we did a bit of research, and we found out there was a Scottish group called the In-Betweens.
That's funny. I never knew that. Never knew that.
Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah. They used to spell it out, but that did cause a little bit of confusion. See, that's getting back to the research thing. You have to do proper research. You can't just sit in front of a keyboard and find stuff. You have to actually get out there and ask questions and stuff.
You need somebody to sort it out.
Yeah. Otherwise, you can put any rubbish down, and it is just rubbish. But when you say Bilston Town Hall and Aberdeen, it's a bit of a jaunt.
We've done some silly things, but not that.
Talking of jaunt, how long did it used to take you to get up there?
Well, I remember then, none was the last to be picked up because he lived on the motorway.
Yeah.
Right. But the motorway didn't start there then. It started at Penkridge, the M6. He started around about Penkridge, but he finished at Preston in the 60s, right? The M6, he went from Penkridge or thereabouts up to sort of Preston, and then it was just A roads after that. So, I mean, it used to take us forever. I mean, Glasgow, Wick, when we played Wick, we had to leave Nod's house at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Wick's right at the very top, isn't it?
It's on the north coast, but it took us 12 hours to get there. You know, we sort of, because like I said, the motorway finished at Preston then, so it was just A roads after that, and then we had to drive across the Shap, you know, the mountain range. You know,
what was the money like for that?
I'll tell you what, it was great going to Scotland because we always got cash. But say we earned about, on average, between 20-25 quid a night in England. Right? Scotland, it was 35 up to about 50, which was a big change, and it was great. I'll tell you what, if you check some of the dates, actual dates, we always used to play there once a month, and it was work perfect for our HP payments. because we always got cash, and so we could pay our HP payments, you know. But I tell you what, in those days, you used to get Scottish notes. Well, some banks in England would only give you 98p to the pound. Yeah. So we used to give all the Scottish notes to H. he never sussed it for years. All the Scottish notes to get, and we have the normal stuff. He never sussed it for years.
He knows now.
Yeah.
But who used to drive up there then? Did anybody like?
Well, then, in the very early days, there was only not an age that could drive. We didn't have roadies then.
Yeah.
And so it was basically not and Dave. And then when me and Jim learned, Jim never drove, but we shared between Nod, myself, and H.
Yeah.
You know, but I remember the one time when we finished in Glasgow, we was due to drive home, and I said, I'll take the first stretch. And then, like I said, it was over the Shap, and that was where there's a petrol station there, because we knew exactly where, because we could only get some at 4 gallons at a time in our tank, you see, because there was a hole in it. And 4 gallons, 4 gallons then was £1, Chris. and I knew, so you could get to the Shap, I could put the 4 gallons in, and then I could get to the start of the M6, and then we were safe then. I could put 4 gallons in at Preston, and then we'd be all right all the way down to Beesdale. And actually, the one time I drove from Glasgow right to Nod's house in Beesdale, and the others were asleep in the back, and they never even woke when I stopped to put the 4 gallons in, you know, sort of thing. And I drove up, and I pulled about Nod's mom's house, not mom's and dad's house. I said, "We're here, Nod." He couldn't believe it. But it was. I'll tell you what, though, it's ain't a good thing to do. And I got my face right up the windscreen, you know, sort of thing. I had to keep an opening the window, you know, get some fresh air. It's not. I do not recommend that kind of thing.
No, well, it's all limousines for you now, isn't it? And
sorry?
It's all limousines for you now and all that.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's rock and roll. You played so many Scottish gigs. You got La Bamba in Falkirk and the Scene Club.
That was. It was like only a small club. A lot of the gigs then were like either town hall, village halls, or as you can see, like some of the clubs, you know, sort of thing. La Bamba was a great rock club, and not really only loads of people there, Chris, but a great gig that was.
Do you think because you was with Astor and all the different agencies, did they have like a reciprocal thing? Did Scottish, if they sent you up there, did the agency of Scotland send down a Scottish one, you know?
I don't think they did actually. I know what you mean, but that used to happen. But I don't think it used to happen. I don't think any Scottish bands came down, because the money wasn't compared with Scotland.
No, of course.
The money was nowhere near as good, you know. So they wouldn't be bothered to drive down, you know, sort of thing down. But I mean. Some good, and Hamilton was just on the outskirts of Glasgow.
Yeah,
that's it. And
Did you always come back, or did you stay up there? If you know, like
if we were there for a weekend, we'd stay up there. Obviously, say we did Friday. Normally, a normal thing would be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Say Friday would be the La Bamba, Falkirk.
Yeah.
And then sometimes Saturday would be the Electric Gardens in Glasgow.
Yeah.
And then Sunday would be the Olympia Ballroom at East Kilbride.
Yeah.
You know, and then we drive home after that. We used to stay in a guest house in a place called Bath Road, just opposite. It was parallel to Sauchiehall Street.
Oh,
like a pound a night bed and breakfast, all in the same room. But the guy who ran it was an old army officer. You know, and he was great. He used to make us get up in the morning, have our breakfast at like 8 o'clock or whatever. So we could go back to bed after.
Oh, right.
He used to make us get up. We said, "Well, can't we just leave it? We'll still give you the pound a night. You don't have to bother booking us, cooking us breakfast." And no, he used to make us get up, have breakfast, then we could go back to bed.
Genius, genius. You've got, I mean, there's lots of places like Bobby Jones's and the beach.
Yeah, the Bobby
the
Jones
ballerina.
Ballroom. The Bobby Jones Ballroom was there.
Yeah, yeah. The top. Where else we got? Electric Gardens in Glasgow, which you mentioned.
That was a great gig. That was great. We did. I know you got the Top Rank Aberdeen Radio One Club. We did a Radio One Club from Electric Gardens as well.
Did you?
That was a great gig. That was a great a club type ballroom thing, but a great gig. And I'm just down here. Where are we?
We're just sort of, we're not sticking to the what's it, because I just put them down for 9, because the main thing is the Isle of Arran. That was
fantastic.
How many times did you play there?
I don't know. Lots of times. I mean, the thing is, it was the same crowd every night. You could see we've got Lamlash, Brodick, and it was Whiting Bay.
Whiting Bay, yeah.
We used to get the ferry from. It was only about a 30-minute ferry from, I can't remember now, from the mainland, obviously. But it'd all be the same people. They'd only be like village halls, you know.
Yeah. And there's some footage of you.
Sorry.
So there's some footage of you there from either 69 or I think it's 70.
70. Wow.
It's like a documentary about the island.
Oh, okay.
And you appear in it for about a minute, 30 seconds, doing Born to Be Wild.
Oh, the end. That was the end of the show.
Yeah. So, but you actually in there. It's mainly sort of a half-hour documentary about what the island sort of thing.
But I mean, it was like a holiday weekend we used to play there.
Yeah.
You know, like we'd have our sort of weekend or whatever. They used to have the holiday weekends as well. It'd be the same people every night we play, and we used to. I think it was. I'm trying to think what was. I don't know if it was Brodick or Lamlash. Was the centre one, the centre village sort of thing, and there was the pub there. We used to stay there, like in a guest house there, and everybody would be in the pub at lunchtime, and with all the crowd as well. Oh yeah, we'd be in there. And there was the one time there was a dredger, a boat just offshore, and all the crew were in there, you know, sort of in the pub, and they said. We'll get a carry out, as they call it, get a carry out and go back to the boat and have a party. And that's when we went back to the boat, and that's when we all caught scabies. I mean, this boat was filthy. But the thing, I must tell this story. What you did, there's still a skeleton crew on the boat, and they throw the rope ladder over when the little rowboat pulled up. Then whoever go up, and then he'd hold the rope while the next one walked up, and the same like that. Of course, like H goes up, and then he just lets the rope go, walks away. Of course, one of the crewmen, he goes, wow, right into the sea. He got his best suit on and everything. But they were great weekends. They were actually great weekends, Chris. But I said it was the same road every night.
Well, what you was, because I was going to ask you about the regularity, but your comment earlier about the HP payments makes perfect sense. Because you were going up every month. I was going to ask you that, why every month, but the HP thing, which you said, makes perfect sense.
It just worked that way. That you know, we had the cap. We always got cash, and it worked great that we could pay. Because me and Nod, like I said, we used to get, I think it's 20-25 quid in England, but up there we got between 35 and 50, which is a big jump. Me and Nod just to take the money to the bank, what was left, you know, after a share out sort of thing, and it was great, you know. So like I said, give H all the Scottish notes. So, but no, it was great. I mean, a lot of great memories there, Chris. I mean, with the bands we played with, there was a group called Bubbles.
Yes,
that was the drummer there, Ted McKenna, a great bloke, great drummer.
Alex Harvey.
he joined Alex Harvey, and then he joined Michael Schenker. He's done quite a few things. And last time I was up in Scotland doing some promotion thing for the book, we sort of, there's a lot of the gang that always used to be around, and one of the girls named Kath used to bring a load of kids. She used to have a J2 van, and used to drive a load of kids to come and see us, you know. And she was a big mate of Ted McKenna's, and I was up there, and I was in the hotel, and we were just talking, and we're just like mates, you know, from way back in the 60s. She said, "Oh, I'm going to call Ted. He might be around." And he was on his way back into Glasgow. So he came, and we had about half an hour together.
Brilliant.
You know, it was like the Alex Harvey band. The Alex Harvey band was actually what was that called? A group, not the Pathfinders. They were a group which Ted McKenna was with.
Yeah.
You know, before they came the Alex Harvey band.
Yeah.
And
I love the Alex Harvey bands. I saw them with you when they supported you at the Civic.
That's it.
Fantastic. And then I saw them 4 or 5 times. Absolutely brilliant. Alex Harvey was fantastic. So you can't argue with him, can you?
I'll tell you what. When he did that too with us, he got booed off every night.
Yeah.
And he stood his ground every night, Chris.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what. He even moved off in Glasgow, his hometown, right? And I'll tell you what, because he did Earl's Court with us at the end of that tour, right? Yeah. Earl's Court was in '73, and I was with him on the side of the stage before they went on. And he turned around to me, he said, "Don," he said, "we get booed tonight. It's going to be the loudest boo you have ever heard." And sure enough, they got booed. Every night they got booed, but he stood his ground every night, Chris.
They put a show on. I mean, I remember the first time I saw them with you, and I just thought they were brilliant. I didn't boo. I just thought, flipping heck, this is good. But then you lot came on at the Civic Hall '73.
Yeah, waste of time, wasn't it?
Oh, that was interesting. I don't care what anybody else says. Civic Hall '73.
Yeah,
absolutely brilliant.
Was that when we did 3 nights? Was it 3 nights?
You did 2 nights.
2 nights there.
Yeah, you did 2 nights. I can't remember which one. I thought it was either a Saturday and a Sunday or a Sunday and a Monday. I can't remember. But one of them I did. I just did the 1 night, and
I think we did. I think that. I know it was that year. It might have been that year. We did 3 nights at Hammersmith Odeon. I think
you did. Yeah.
Brilliant. But that was a great gig.
No, I'd argue me corner for Civic Hall 1973. You lot against anybody.
Yeah.
and the audience as well. If the audience wanted to take, they'd
incredible.
Yeah. Right. Back to Bonnie Scotland. All over the place. This is the thing, though. You just kept on playing, didn't you? Even when you were, at your height, you did all the Glasgow, the big places.
The Beach Ballroom, Aberdeen. That was a story.
Yeah.
It was a round place. It was right on the beach.
Really?
And it was right on the beach, and it was circular. And the kids, they used to walk round while we were on playing. Right, they used to walk round, holding. The boys and girls would hold hands and walk round, and then when we came to stop and look, and then they carry on walking. And we couldn't understand this. We never seen anything like this. And then when we came off, the guy who booked it, or the manager of the place, said, "You went down fantastic." He said they never stop and look. He said, "But with you, they did. They'd walk around and stop and watch us for a song and then carry on walking." He said they'd never do that. He said they never stop walking. He said, I mean, it's so unusual.
That's a weird one. So were you in the middle of it then? All the equipment
on the end, but it was like circular. But it was quite a big stage, a great gig, and then so they used to walk around. Incredible.
Mad. Bobby Jones's seems to be one that I just like the name of it. Was that a club as well?
The Bobby Jones, that was like a club cum ballroom type place. It's there,
Yeah. and the St Andrews Cosmo, the youth centre.
What was that, sorry?
The St Andrews played in Fife, St Andrews Cosmos Youth Centre. You might not remember it.
Well, I don't remember that one. I don't remember that at all.
Because I mean, there were just so many.
Yeah,
you can understand why people thought you were a Scottish band.
They did. Everybody thought we were from Scotland.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's some great places we played. The Bobby Jones place there was really good. That was a good place. And the Burnt Island Palace, but that was I thought Burnt Island Palace. I thought that was in Wales. It's in Fife, is it?
Where's that one?
Down towards the bottom, fourth from the bottom of the first page.
Yeah,
the Burnt Island Palace. The Palais Club burnt. It was called Burnt Island Palais. Yeah.
But, it could be my geography. I'll check on that one. Because we can't have people criticising me for getting things wrong.
Yeah. Also, we used to play in Bearsden. We used to play a small club there as well. Because I remember playing the stadium. I mean, I think it was like some. It was the carnival. It was like a carnival weekend or something.
Yeah.
That's what. We used to play always used to play a small club there in Bearsden. But the Queen Margaret Union in Glasgow, you got at the bottom of the page.
Yeah,
that was obviously the university.
Yeah,
that was a gig.
Yeah, and you got more ballrooms and the Kinema Ballroom and Trocadero in Hamilton.
The Radio 1 Club with the top ranks with in Aberdeen.
Yeah.
They used to have I don't really remember, they used to have it's going off, it was like a split broadcast between the studio in London and then on location somewhere.
Yeah.
And we did London a few times as well. And obviously on location, we did like the Aberdeen one, sort of thing.
I'll try and find that other one because you mentioned another one as well. So I'll try and find that one. That's always you. You said you did another one as well, apart from the Stuart Henry one.
Yeah, I can't remember where it was, and there was one we did. I'm sure it was in Scotland where the power went off.
Oh right.
On the radio, the broadcast was like scrapped. Well, they just carried. It was in London, so they just carried on in London.
Yeah. Sort of thing. I will have a look. I'll see what I can come up with. And again, you just carried on.
Great gigs there, when you go through them. Look on the next page. Yeah, the Kinema Ballroom, Dunfermline, that was a good gig.
Yeah.
They're all good gigs. Greece Playhouse, that was when we became successful then. It was like a big old cinema, massive place. And the stage was so high up. You were like level with the top balcony. Sort of thing. It was like that was a great gig. All those when we were successful, the Cairn Hall, Dundee, they're all the big gigs then.
Yeah,
I don't remember that one. We got the Viking Club, Sea Haven, Glasgow. I can't remember that. But that one, that Calendar Park, Falkirk, we played on a bandstand in the middle of a small pool. Right, we had to go on a boat to get across there. But all the kids started diving in the water and swimming across to where we were playing. Yeah, that's it.
And then you did the Empire and the Apollos and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, but they great. Tiffany's Edinburgh was a great. That was like a small club. Just like the club that was, and then we did the Odeons. You can see there. I don't remember the Fusion Club Aberdeen. I only ever remember the Beach Ballroom, and you got Ruffles Club as well. Yeah, I don't remember them.
They were. I've got the ads for them. These were sort of slightly later on, weren't they? Late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
but
you know the Isle of Man. You know the Isle of Man.
Yeah.
Have you ever been back? Because
no, I'd love to go back. Actually, I'd love to go back and see. Yeah, so I wonder if they still have. Look, it was like a ritual every holiday weekend. It'd be the same crowd for the three gigs.
Well, sort of lots of other bands did the same thing. Thin Lizzy did the same thing, and
yeah,
you know, other people.
But we no, it was a great sort of weekend. It was like a big party. It was the same crowd every night. It was just like a big party.
I just wondered if, because you were going there so regularly, in sort of later on in your career, you just decided to go back and have a look. That's all. You know, not as
I'd like to. I'd like to. I'd love to sort of go back and, you know, be especially the Isle of Man. I'd like to go back and have a look. You know, but I wonder if we still have gigs there now.
Don't know.
There'll be the ferry going across, quite a big ferry, and be all the crowd for the weekend on the ferry. You know, so we've just been mingling with the crowd all the weekend.
I'd like, say, doing the gig research. Obviously, where we are, it'd be the same with me. So 4 or 5 hours. You know, hour even now. If you know, we all looked at sort of flying up there to go to Glasgow and Edinburgh and whatever, just to you know go into the archives. But they say James Craig, this guy, he helped me out a tremendous amount. And it's always good when people do that, because I can't be everywhere.
Like you said, it means you'd have to either fly up there. I mean, but I'll tell you what, though, when we used to drive before the motorway went all the way, we used to have to drive across the shaft, and with the transport cap in the middle. And when we coming back, we're coming back home after the Sunday night, because we all had cash. So and we could night time, it was about, I don't know, 2 or 3 in the morning, and we could see the lights flickering of the cafes were coming down, because there's no lights over the mountain range. And we thought, great, we used to go there, we could have a mixed grill, sort of thing, or we have a proper slap up food. I think the mixed grill was like 3 and 6 or something like that,
I mean, this is a fairly subjective sort of question, but looking back on all that, and then looking back when you were huge, you were number ones all over the place, you were traveling the world and everything like that. Did you sort of miss those days, or did you think, oh yeah, we've done that?
I did. I personally did. I thought it was great. I used to love going into the tranny caps, especially when they started on the M6, when you could choose bits from everything, if you know what I mean. I thought that was something else. That was, I'll have some peas, and I'll have some of that. And it was that was really good. And sort of, I'll tell you what was the classic on that on the shaft with the big cabin was like the pies, the hot pies, meat pies and everything with gravy. Fantastic, that was. Lovely memories then.
Brilliant. No, I just wondered, that's all. I mean, because sort of.
No, it was a lot of good memories, and it's sort of, you do miss them when you sort of, like at the end when you're playing like all the big gigs and all that kind of thing. There's like when in a way you try and make your own anymore, sort of thing. And we used to have like, funny enough, in Glasgow when we used to. Because we used to have the guest house, so we do Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So Sunday lunchtime, we'd have to check out the guest house. So we'd have all afternoon. So that's when we used to go to the pictures. We saw some, in Glasgow, and then we'd always go to this Chinese restaurant on Sauchiehall Street afterwards, and have a nice slap up, before the thing. I think we saw some of the big classics in the cinema, like Doc Zhivago and people like that. I think that's when Ace was crying in Doc Zhivago. But I think it affected him.
I don't know.
Lots of memories there.
No, it's brilliant. But you did. I mean, it's just fantastic the amount you did. We'll have to do Slade in Wales next.
I don't think we did anything much in Wales.
We did a few gigs. I've got a few. I'll sort them out. I'll sort them out for them. I'll bring back some memories. But if not, we can do another one.
I know that's where Nod got his nose broke, but that was like later on.
Happy memories, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we could do. We could do Slade in Iceland, because you did that one gig in Iceland in the early days.
One night there.
Yeah. Couldn't believe that. I've got so much information on that, but it's all in Icelandic. I got reams because it was such a big thing. All the newspapers and everything were full of you coming there. It's Iceland. And I've got loads of stuff, but it's all in Icelandic.
Wow. I'd like to see some of that. But,
well, if you're, there's some good photographs because they're only magazine photographs. And there's a security guy with a cap standing there. You're all doing all your stuff. It's obvious you're all doing your act. And he's sort of just standing there, sort of, you can tell sort of what am I doing here. So,
what we used to have in Poland and Russia, things like that, that was obviously later on, many years later on. But but I said, like, Scotland, some great memories. But like I said before, people always thought we were from Scotland.
It's the accent again. We're getting back. It's a common theme on all these. It's the accent. You either come from Poland or you come from Scotland.
Very much different. Well, I'll tell you what. When we used to finish Scotland Sunday night, and then we come drive home overnight, and we play Bilston United Servicemen's Club on the Monday night. It was always like that. Yeah, because I used to get, because I was still with mum and dad's then, and then I get the bus up, to the from Stowlawn right to the Workmen's Club, basically, sort of thing. I think it's like a Sikh temple now, or something like that. Bilston, I think it's somewhat like that.
I'm not sure. I haven't been anywhere since this lockdown thing. I just haven't been anywhere. So if you say that's what it is, that's what it is.
I'm sure that's what it is. So I always look every time I go back up, sort of, because I don't know what the bus situation is now. So I used to just walk up into town to see to go and see Mickey Marston at his butcher shop, on Oxford Street. That was going back then, and I had to have a couple of hours with Mick and have a walk around town, sort of thing, But
places just changed, haven't they? I mean, especially,
it's unbelievable. I mean, I'll tell you what I did. I'll tell you what I did last. Was it last time we played the Robin?
Yeah.
Because the pie shop, over the road. That's one where when we used to pull back at Johnny's house, we used to keep the gear in his hallway. Yeah. And then we'd have pie and chips from there. Because it would be late at night, so we could get them for we'd have about a couple of 2 or 3 pies each, because they just wanted to get rid of them. They just charge us for one. But it's still there, Chris. I actually went across and had a pie and chips last time we played the Robin.
Fantastic.
I've got to do it. But obviously it's not the same people there anymore. But I just have to do it.
It is funny going back to places, isn't it? I mean, I had to go when I had my COVID injection. I had to have it in Bloxwich, and I haven't been in Bloxwich for years down the high street. It's got to be 10 years at least.
Wow!
So I took the chance to walk down it and see. It's all different going down, but if you look up, it's all exactly the same because it's still the same buildings, and it's all the Victorian and the Edward.
It's like Bilston in a way. The same thing, like you say, if you look up, you can still see the sky, or with the same things, But like I said, when I went, I had to go and get a pie and chips last time we played the Robin, sort of because it's still there, the pie shop. Because it was me, Johnny, and Mick, and what we used to do, because it was the end of the night, we could get a couple of pies and a pile of chips for next to nothing, because they were closing down then, they're closing, so they got to throw it all away. And then we used to sit in Johnny's back room, with pie and chips and a cup of tea, so it's great, lovely memories.
The way to do it, right?
Yeah.
From about, was it 1865 to some pie and chips in Bilston? That's covered it nicely, hasn't it?
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, and it's still there.
Yeah. All right, mate. I'll switch this off and I'll talk to you on the other side.